Well, guys, I'm here with the sad news that yesterday we lost our dear and beloved Jose, aka the Captain. Captain had been with me here for many, many years. I want to say at least 15 or 16 years, helping us out at the stores. Very sad moment for me, personally. He was a grumpy old guy, let me just put it to you that way. But he was very, very trustworthy, a great friend, helped me out tremendously. Always had my back, and that I will never forget. So anyway, I want to go ahead and light up a cigar in his honor, have his little cup of coffee. We always used to like to say around here that if you wanted a good cup of coffee, you'd have the Captain make it for you. It wasn't that great, actually, guys, to be honest with you. He actually enjoyed it when I made him the coffee. Anyway, so those of you guys that got to meet him and know him throughout the years, some of you guys have some really interesting stories, I know, and stuff that he shared with you, and God knows he shared a lot of great stuff with me. I hope to be able to share these stories with you guys throughout the time. He was an interesting guy. He came here when he was very young. I think he was about 20 or 21. Went to New York, 1960. Yeah, he was about 20, actually. And he found out about the invasion. You know, the CIA trained, or CIA plotted Bay of Pigs invasion. And he got involved in that right away. And that was back in 61. So he did that. Then he went into the U.S. Army. He worked in the company, doing intelligence for them. Really storied history of the stuff that he did and the stuff he was involved in. But I always like to say, and he kind of said it the same way too, that he lost his country, he lost his family. Cuba didn't really want him because they considered him a traitor. After he helped the revolutionaries there, obviously that went the other way. It took a turn for the communists, and that's not what he wanted. And then he came here, and the U.S. government kind of used him too, and they didn't recognize certain things, yet they recognized him as a veteran. It's a very sticky situation there. Hopefully, I can get him honored, and I can have him, honored where he deserves to be. So I'll be working on that in the upcoming weeks and stuff, speaking with different people and seeing what I can do on my end. What an interesting story with him. One time he told me he left Jersey and he was going to go visit his cousin out in California. Did that, worked out there for a little bit. Then he decided he wanted to go back to Jersey, and he ran out of money. And somewhere in like New Mexico, a big truck pulled over, and he hitched a ride with the gentleman. And that was Gene Aaron. That was his grandfather, or his uncle, Uncle Albert. So he said to the guy, he said, "Well, where are you going?" He said, "Where do you want to go?" He said, "New Jersey." He says, "Jersey?" He says, "How about Kansas?" He's like, "All right." So he picked him up, took him to a little town called Hutchinson, Kansas, and he was out there for a number of years. And that's where he met, Gene, and eventually he came here to Florida to, work and live with Albert's nephew, Gene. But at the time he was in Kansas, he worked over there in like a junkyard. He worked with Gene's grandfather, helped him out. He became like their right-hand man pretty much. And just amazing stories this gentleman had. This cigar's for you. Up above. What can I tell you guys? Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I got a little teary-eyed here. Anyway, he spent a lot of time here with me and my dad, and we had such great stories. The stuff that he did, it was just he was a character. I always used to tell him, I said, you know what? We should make a movie on your life and the stuff that you did. And he always said, nah. I said, come on, let's do a movie. Nah, I don't want to do that. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll do it. He was born in Santiago de Cuba, which is Cuba's eastern side. And in Cuba, he was a member of the 26th of July movement, which was the revolution, unfortunately, that Fidel Castro was behind. And he fell out of grace with them real fast because he realized that the revolution was a farce. Everything was not what they promised, not what they said was going to happen. He always said Castro was full of shit, which he is or was. So unfortunately for him, that didn't work out the way he wanted. Some of the people that participated with him in the revolution, well, they ended up becoming high-ranking military people, and but he didn't want that. He came here. He fought, like I said, on our side here, the Bay of Pigs and the U.S. Army. He was in Fort Knox, Kentucky. My cigar turned off on me. But yeah, I'm gonna try to see if we can get him honored over here and see what we can do on our end. Unfortunately, he's no longer around, but his memory will live on. We will always have him here present with us. I know the guys here have tremendous memories and stories and jokes. So we'll remember him here for sure. Funny thing is, so the captain lived in Jersey many years too, which is where I am from originally. And ironically, most of my parents' friends and my friends, and they were friends of his. Like, for example, so I moved here to this area, and I used to have a little cigar stand at the flea market locally. It's going back a number of years. And right there was a gentleman there who, his name was Tim. And I used to buy coins from him. Mostly Cuban coins, Spaniard, Spanish, Latin American coins. Anyway, I became good friends with Tim. And Tim says to me one day, he says, oh, there's another gentleman that comes around here and he buys coins from me too. I said, no kidding. He says, yeah, he's a Cuban. He goes, he was in the Bay of Pigs invasion. I said, no shit. I said, you know what? I'd love to meet him when he comes by. He says, oh yeah, that's no problem at all. So the day he comes over, Tim introduces me to the captain, and we start talking right away, and turns out, yeah, he lived in Jersey, like a few blocks away from where I lived. And I said, how about that? I said, wow, that's really crazy, right? So time passes, the captain becomes my friend, starts helping me out. Dad and him start talking too, they become friends. We open the store here in Tarpon Springs. He starts coming here to help me and give me a hand. Well, one day, some other friends of ours come over here and they see him and they say, hey, what are you doing here? I said, you know them? He says, yeah. He says, the building where those people, where their family lived in New Jersey, it's the same building that he lived in for many years too. What the hell are the chances? And just a lot of funny stuff like that. Ironic, I guess, right? Or as he would say, destiny, fate. And I know his brother George is probably going to see this later and laugh. And our friend Caesar, he lives here in Tampa. Caesar's cousin was running for mayor of the town in West New York many years ago. He ended up becoming mayor and then Congressman Sires. He says he knocked on the captain's door, and because it turns out the congressman's mother lived in the building too. And he says, what the hell he says, Albio, what the hell are you doing knocking on my door? I already told you I'm not into any of this stuff, I'm a Cuban nationalist, and I don't believe in any of this bullshit here. And that was him. That was the captain. That was the way he was. What a character. Anyway, I'm sure Melba's going to watch this too. They have some interesting stories too. So, his kids. So the captain, all those years, he did not like to drink. Was not a drinker. He would say to me, "I don't drink beer." I said, "No." I said, "How about wine?" "No, I don't drink wine." I said, So what do you drink?" "I only drink cognac." So today, I'm going to have a little drink of cognac in his honor. Captain. Wow. Woo, that's good stuff. So him and Dad love cognac. And this bottle that I have here is actually a bottle that our good friend Tom Duncan brought over here. And Danny, of course. So we always keep a little bottle of nice cognac here at the shop. And I remember when Dad was around, it was him and the captain and, like I said, Tom. They'd always have a little shot of their cognac here. It didn't matter if it was Hennessy or Courvoisier. They love Courvoisier too. The captain always liked a good Spanish brandy too. Cardinal Mendoza or Gran Duque de Alba. But the cognacs, definitely he loved. So. And it goes good with the cigar. What more can I tell you? If there was Cuban coffee and cigars, you knew that he was here. And his favorite, the chicharrone, the pork rinds, the real authentic pork rinds. Love those things. Whenever I'd go to Tampa to like the Spanish markets and stuff, he said, "Bring me back chicharrone." I said, "Okay, Cap, no problem." Anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. A lot of interesting things happening in the cigar world. The convention, the annual trade show is going on this week. I didn't make it, unfortunately. We got so much going on with other things and the captain being sick and everything. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'll be doing something soon that you guys will be really interested in. But this is not a marketing video. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of share some stories of the captain. Stuff that he did. He was involved in all sorts of stuff. He was infiltrated in other countries, Latin America mostly, with the CIA. He didn't like to talk about these things. He was involved in a group called the Black Falcons, which was a CIA-backed group. Even though now they're declassifying documents and stuff, but for many years they probably didn't admit it. Well, they finally declassified it. And I remember. One day I told him about it. I said, "Hey, what was the Black Falcons?" And he says, "Oh my God, these bastards." He says, "That's the thing with them. They'll use you and then they'll declassify information. And what are you going to do?" I said, "Don't worry about it. It's in the past anyway." So he was involved in that. And one of his friends who recently passed away actually was Luis Posada Carriles, who was an expert bomb maker, also trained by the CIA in disposals. Captain was very knowledgeable in that department. So, I'm not going to say more about that. But anyway, let's just say that he had a tremendous knowledge of military equipment. We'll leave it at that. He was also an avid World War II collector. And I kind of dabbled a little bit in that type of stuff, so he got me into it. And I have a few things of my own. Interesting stuff that he got me into that I had no idea about. Coins, he loved coins, my God. I remember one time we're at like the flea market, and he just picked up this coin. He says, "Oh my God, I found it. I said, "What is it, Captain?" He says, "I've been looking for this for years." And it was a Cuban 2-cent coin. Very rare. I think from 1915, I think it was. And Make a long story short, he was right. Very rare coin. They only minted, I think, like 150 coins. They were made here in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Mint. Back when the U.S. and Cuba had good relations. Which, God, will that ever happen again? I hope. He hoped. Another one bites the dust, like they say, right? Of that generation. Did not get to see his country free. Maybe one day, though. We never lose hope for that. Smoking one of my Robustos today. Prince of Wales. Doesn't have the label. Took it off, but that's what that is. Sorry about my being a little sentimental here. Let's see what else. He was a lover of cats. The man loved cats. He had one cat, Misty. She traveled with him like all over the place. Interstate, here, there. God, what a character. She passed away years ago. Misty the cat. Oh, the U.S. government owes him like $160-something thousand. He'll never get that money. He always used to tell me, though, he said, if I get the money, oh my God, if I get the money, I'm going to buy myself a Jaguar. And I'm going to sit in the Jaguar with my cat and go around everywhere with my cigars. Hopefully he's in the Jaguar now, up in the sky. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. So thanks for watching. Till next time.
Mira, te voy a enseñar la lista donde está el número 26. Mira, Unidad Revolucionaria, el número 26, Luis Posada Carriles. Mira, mi nombre, yo soy el número 3. Yo estaba encargado acerca de la seguridad del grupo.
In other words, what they're saying is that there's heavy processing. In other words, they do have this paperwork. It seems real, however, we have continued.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Of course, it is. They do have the paperwork available.
They don't want to accept it.
This is 2008. But if you go to Washington, D.C.
They don't want to do nothing for him.
No. Eso, la única, ya he estado ya hace más de 30 años. Lo único que tengo que buscar un abogado de inmigración que se enfrente al gobierno para el carajo. Porque me deben, ¿tú sabes cuánto me deben de que no me pagan? Del retiro, $106,000, $106,000 for your information.
Oh, right.
Either you can chill out, or we're gonna hop.
The documents are there, you know.
The documents are right here.
Yeah.
They're right here.
Am I gonna give you this one last?
He was active.
Yeah.
¿Ese cuál es? ¿Qué documento es?
Ese es del ejército.
Brought to you by Publishers Clearinghouse. Go to
Wow.
PCH.com for your chance to
Look, transferred to the United States Army.
$7,000 a week for life from Publishers
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Look at the date on that, 1962.
I know.
They say he doesn't exist.
Unbelievable.
Es unbelievable. I know. Todo el mundo dice lo
It's
mismo.
unfucking believable, man.
Un hijo de puta.
We're written to
Bullshit.
senators and shit like that for this. Nothing.
No.
That's bullshit. This is what the United States government will do.
I know.
Check my credit score. Credit card.
Saluda ahí el video, ¿eh?
¿Eh?
Que tú que